you watch the long jump at a track and field meet, or you watch our Ducks Unlimited Big Air competition, it doesn't take you long to figure out what the moment of truth is. The moment of truth happens right there. It's where the jumper leaves the runway, the takeoff. Now, in the track and field meet, those guys scratch all the time, and they're humans. They're supposed to be trainable, so imagine how hard it is for the dogs to hit the takeoff.
The best example of a dog that I know that uses all of the dock would be Dean Skillman and Wiley.
Come on, Wiley! Go, 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 go!
Dean does the same routine every time he gets up on the dock, and Wiley knows that. He's very familiar with that. And as Wiley comes down the dock, Dean does his movement, and Wiley's keen on that. And because his movement is through the end of the dock, Wiley will take that extra stride to get through to the end of the dock. One of the least consistent teams that I know of, and he's a very popular dog, is actually Little Morgan, Mike Jackson and Little Morgan.
Morgan, Morgan, Morgan!
Little Morgan is the current world record holder, and I'll tell you what, Little Morgan would actually have broken that world record several times. The problem with Little Morgan is he leaves considerably early. I've seen him hit 23 jumps, leaving 4 to 5 feet early. He is so quick down the dock, Mike has just a little bit of time, just a very small amount of time to make that move.
Let's go, Morgan!
He makes that jerk with his body, and Little Morgan keys on that movement, thus makes the jump towards the object, because Morgan wants to grab that thing hard. And as soon as he makes that movement, Morgan makes that jump. That causes Morgan to leave early. So Mike has to work on that. He has to figure out a way to make that movement, first of all, hold the bird out farther, and he has to find a way to flow the movement a little bit more instead of jerking it so quick. And that's what causes him to leave early.
With that in mind, we're going to pay close attention to the takeoff. Tommy Sanders, Justin Tackett here, ready to go. From Stuttgart, Arkansas, we have now reached the finals of our Big Air Dog competition, sponsored by Ducks Unlimited. First team to the line, Dash and Ken Butler. The jump to beat so far, 14-10.
You know, Tommy, a Chesapeake Bay Retriever needs every bit of the dock. Obviously, the dog's 80 to 90 pounds, has a lot of power, but he needs to be technically superior to compete with the smaller dog. Not a lot of height, pretty good jump though. I think he did a good job on the dock there.
Boy, they used every inch of that dock. We'll see just how much in a moment there. Some good takeoff, not so much height. Now let's take a look at this.
Oh, it looks like he just almost slipped off. You know, a dog with that kind of weight needs every bit he can get, and I'm sure that probably threw him off a little bit.
All right, 16 feet, 6 inches. We go now to Mike McWilliams and Coco. Great job down in El Campo. At our first event of the season, Coco can get up there.
In serious contrast. Serious contrast to Dash.
Coco,
a lighter dog. Big hair here, man. This dog can get up. Little Morgan-esque in the height division.
Come on, Coco.
16.6 is the mark to beat.
Oh, yeah. Almost jumped out of the camera frame.
Well, that was a good long one there. That jump will obviously take the lead. Let's look at it again.
Good girl.
Maybe left a little early. Come on, Paul Cam, where are you? Show us what we got.
Come on,
girl. All right, here we go.
Pretty good job. Maybe gave up 6-8 inches max.
Within a foot, that's usually pretty good, and a jump of 18 feet, 10 inches. Mike McWilliams and Coco are leaders so far in this final round of competition. We have some big teams coming up, including world record holder Mike Jackson and Little Morgan. And now it's time to get back to our Retriever Trials Flight 3, the final flight of our semifinal round. The number to beat right now is 50 faults, leading the way J. Paul Jackson and Achilles as you take a look at the rice fields of Stuttgart, Arkansas. First team to the line today, Richard McDonald and Spur. 20 years in this business. Richard McDonald is a respected figure.
Been there and done that. Take a quick look at the Sport Dog virtual course. First mark comes out as a single, 90 yards. Pick it up, no big deal. 3 guys in the blind. All 3 have 3 shells, 9 total shots. Pick up that blind on top of that war eagle. Swing back left, flower pot. One of the marks is in the area of an old fall. It's going to be difficult for some of these dogs to go back in there. Then the monster, 263 yards. Very difficult to get there. Dogs losing sight of the mark the whole way out. Come back out of breath, out of control. Sit. Bam, in your face, 5 yards.
Always have plenty of distractions at the line. This may be the king of them all right here.
Guys are telling jokes. The gunners are on top of them. We'll see who can hang in there and concentrate.
We're looking for the fewest number of faults. Major infractions are 5 faults. The minor ones are 2.
Really?
Again, we're taking 5 teams to the finals here. That bubble figure right now is 50 faults.
9 total shots. It is sitting on top of a war eagle boat. giving some of the handlers a super difficult time. It put one of them out for sure in Scott Baldwin.
Never seen a blind like this before.
Just on the front part. There you go.
Dogs have to adjust their thinking, and so do the handlers.
Real crucial where you blow the whistle. Make sure that dog gets downwind of this blind. Get on top of that boat and get this thing picked up. He's keeping him very tight. Let him know he's right there on top of it. Don't go far. It's right here. Got it. Nice work.
Get those birds, get them!
Good start right there, and now comes the barrage.
Yep. Flower pot on the left. Richard McDonald's doing something different I haven't seen any of the other handlers do. He's got his dog on the right side. Much easier for that dog to get over there and see that mark. Great job handling. 20 years will do that for you. He's in great shape going into the long monster bird.
Cade Gentry, Mike Osteen will also be coming up there watching this with great interest right now as we set up for this long bird. Nothing much to this, right, Justin? Just a few ditches, a little bit of water, that's it.
13 some odd levees, running water, swimming water, trash. All the levees pushing you one way. Very, very difficult mark. Great bird placement from the judges.
This team is looking great on faults at this point, but again, as Justin just pointed out, this is where it can all go awry.
Got to get him over here. Cast into the wind, the most difficult cast to get in retrievers.
Got to stay under 50 faults if you want to make it to the finals.
He's falling apart here. Oh, he's not even close to the mark and going the opposite direction. Last shot.
Yeah, that's going to do it as far as making the finals for Richard McDonald and Spur. Things didn't get much better. Justin, maybe you can show us why this is such a tough retrieve.
I tell you what, Tommy, the best way to think about this, as far as I'm concerned, is you want to go to Chicago and you see a map, but none of the roads take you there. These levees are pushing you to the right. The wind's pushing you to the right. The dogs have to relax and fall back on their training. Don't trust your instinct here. Go where I put you. Go where you've been trained to go. Very difficult concept.
Well, they will not get a score. This team's going to pick up the dog and head on in. So, Spanky, Linda Brewer still on the bubble with 50 faults. 3 more teams yet to go in our semifinals.
The Max Super Retriever Series is brought to you by Max Prairie Wings, America's premier waterfowl outfitter. Sport Dog brand, dog training gear the way you'd design it. And by Eukanuba, what healthy dogs are made of.
We're here at the HQ, you could say, for the Super Retriever Series. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart, Arkansas. This is the last flight of our semifinal round. To the line, Scott Barnett and Smoke.
A grand champion, but it doesn't look like he's very comfortable up there on that blind. He's going to pick up some unsteady at the line penalties for sure on that. And may compound the problem by not being able to see that mark. I don't think he got a good look at it. Got a pretty solid line out there, though. Very, very talented dog. Oh, he's hitting. Wow. Lost 2 there he didn't need.
You heard any good jokes lately?
No jokes.
No jokes?
No jokes.
Did you hear the one about the dog that could talk?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we got some
You know, the gunners are instructed to keep these guys on their toes. They're supposed to try to – they're asking each of them if they know any good dog jokes. So some of the handlers are handling it well. Scott looks like he's not impressed.
No, it didn't work on Scott. He is all business right now, and he better be. This blind is a difficult test. Most of our dogs have handled it, but for some, it has been the end.
It's been death. I'm telling you, it's rough and tough. You know, there's nothing to it. It's 130 yards. I mean, these dogs would pick this up in their sleep. But it's just different. It's just strange. It's different. There's something about it that's really twisting things up for him. You need a whistle right here. Get him back on top. You know, Scott is the only handler who's had black on. It looks like he's having a tough time seeing him. You know what? You'd think black would contrast well with that real grass on that blind, but it's kind of a hole there. When you're at the dog's level, you look back, you see that nothing but that shadow.
Handlers have the sun at their back at this point, and that's why the black is really bad this morning.
Bad call. Mistake. I don't know if we can chalk it all up. I think a lot of it's just the blind, but I know he's having a tough time seeing him.
They're about out of faults. Got to get under 50 if you want to make it to the finals. They're not going to make it.
Come on, Smoke. Get over there. It's right there, buddy. Frustration, boy. It's got to be tough to get this far, make it through 75 champions to get here, and you go out on something like this.
Again, for some dogs, this is the toughest part of the test. It certainly has been for Smoke and Scott Barnett. They're savvy, though. They're going to stay with it. They're going to try to finish, get a score anyway.
Mom and Pop on the left, set up for the long bird, then the short bird. He's not even halfway done with this thing. You know, a lot of times when a pro trainer like Scott doesn't have a dog for a long period of time before these events, if the owner's taking him in and out, makes it very difficult to get ready for these savvy little things.
Had a little trouble on the blind right off the bat and used up a bunch of whistles, and that's where I lost him at. You know, I used up a bunch of whistles there, and then he got to where he wanted to go on the hunt mode. Once I got him out there right at the boat, I couldn't get him on top of the boat, and then on the other birds, it caused me to not have good whistles on the other marks, and so my test was done at the boat. So, but you know, putting the bird up there, you know, that's just part of it. Everybody's got to do it, so I had to do it too. It's a hybrid, so if you don't prepare yourself, well then, you know, you can't come out here and compete. But we're going to work hard at it and be back next year.
2 more teams with a shot at the finals. 50 is the magic number at this point. We've got some more big air on the way as well. We'll be back with Max Super Retriever Series. Our Ducks Unlimited Big Air competition. We're in the finals here in Stuttgart. The best jump so far is that one. Mike McWilliams and Coco, 18-10, second place. This one, that's Ken Butler and Dash. Ready to go with our next team right now. Very recognizable. The world record holder. That is Little Morgan, handled by Mike Jackson.
You know, Tommy, last week I said that I was gonna stay on strike until he made a good throw. I gotta have a good throw here. Come on.
Morgan.
They get a good throw. Of course, this guy can get out there 27 feet, but we didn't get a good throw again. Take a look at this.
I tell you what, it's way high. It's behind him. It's everything that's bad in a throw.
And the paw cam tells the big part of the story. Look at that, 7 feet given up off that jump right there. And unfortunate because that's a jump of 18 feet, 10 inches, so he only ties Mike McWilliams for first place. It could have been a 24-foot jump.
So much talent. I just want to see a good throw from him.
Sly and Jason Butler, this team has showed us some great throws, some terrific technique so far in this competition.
Absolutely perfect. Again, nice work, using everything that Sly brings to the table for a great jump. Again, nice work.
Take a look at this from the point of view, very close to the throw here. Look at that toss. It is right in front of the dog's eyes.
Perfect. You said it all. It's technically superior. Mike Jackson and Morgan are getting left behind from a technical standpoint in this whole deal.
22 feet 2 inches. Jason Butler and Sly with the lead so far in this final round of competition in the Ducks Unlimited Big Air. Meanwhile, back at the Retriever Trials, 2 more teams with a shot at the finals. Here's Mike Osteen and Sophie.
Mike is a tremendous competitor. He's tailor-made for this event. He's built his whole career on doing a great job in hunt tests and training great field trial dogs.
Sophie.
It's an interesting sport. It's mixes, a combination of field trial, hunt, and test, which has kind of been my field of work for the last 10 years. I mean, we've rehabbed a lot of field trial dogs and dropped them back and run hunt and test with them, and also ran a bunch of hunt and test dogs and converted them to field trials. So, to run a game that's a mixture of the two was actually very interesting. Competitive all the way around, either way. I mean, every sport we play is competitive, and I don't think it's any more than any of the others. It's just, I guess with the crowd and everything else that you have, it's more of a strategy as a team. Most of the games we play, we train the dogs very hard to do certain tasks and certain jobs, but in this game it's a strategy. I mean, you play with the dogs, you read the rules and you play with the rule book and try to figure out a strategy to get the least amount of points that you possibly get, where in the field trial or hunt test game, I mean, we're competing against the standard or the next dog, and you either have to beat them or not, but in this game we just got to play the score system, so it's a lot different with the way you play the game.
You're darn right, he's competitive. Qualified 3 dogs for this 12-man field in the finals. Had to choose one. The choice was Sophie.
She was a step ahead of the other 2 dogs. Unheard of to bring 3 dogs into your second Super Retriever Series and qualify all 3 in the top 12. This guy's, he's very, very talented.
22 faults so far, looking to get under 50 in order to take Sophie to the finals.
Got a good solid blind here. She's laid back. Very biddable dog. Oh, she knows it's there. She just doesn't. I'm not too sure about that War Eagle boat. Atta girl.
Were you afraid she was going to blink that one?
I did. I thought she was going to keep on going. It looked Scott Baldwin-ish there for a second.
That's not good, though.
I started to get nervous.
Still very much in the game. Still got a shot at the finals. Mike and Sophie.
She saw one of the birds. Looks like she had a good look at that last one down. She's waiting for that third one to come out. These dogs can count.
Sophie.
Fewest number of faults is the best score. The major faults are 5 points. The minor ones are 2.
Good job on that bird. Now, she had a lot of trouble with this bird earlier. Remember, it's the same mark again. Going back to an old fall is something that dogs are not, these dogs at this level, they just don't feel real comfortable doing. In a hunting scenario, you go back to the old fall a lot. In competition, it's not something you're looking for, and this is what the judges have done. They've thrown this in here, and she's having a tough time getting there. Well, he's racked up a bunch of points. He's going to have to be ultra clean from here on out to make it happen. Here comes the long bird, man. It's a monster. Mark comes out to the left side of that big ditch. The wind, the levees, everything is telling the dog, go right, go right, go right for 250 yards. Just go right, go right. They get out there. They go right to the gun station. It's not there. What do? You have to handle, and you got to get that cast into the wind. Very, very difficult cast to make happen.
Good, now sit.
Shot in the field to let them look out that direction, field trial style. Looks like she had a great look at it. Just gotta keep from caving into everything. Everything's telling the dog to go right. Swimming water there slows them down. Got to drive.
And Mike does not have points to burn. He can't handle very much here.
No, he's going to have to do it ultra clean to be there. Oh, she's starting to cave right. It's going to be a handle of the area. Got the whistle. Get that cast.
3 more faults left or it's over.
Nope. There was your 5. Handle of the area. You know, the judges are going to talk about it a little bit. Boom, throw that score in there.
This dog in particular is not has not done a whole lot of hunting. She's done more field trial stuff than anything. So going into that blind and setting up on that pedestal and you know, just all that commotion going on with cameras in her face, I wasn't sure she was going to, you know, wig out on me or do a really nice job. But actually, I don't think she let it bother her too much. So it went pretty good.
To be successful, you've got to be complete in this game. They're going to find a hole in your program no matter what. You just got to do well enough in your game to make it through.
Mike and Sophie so close that they just barely get edged out. Still Spanky and Linda Brewer on the bubble.
The Max Super Retriever Series is brought to you by Max Prairie Wings, America's premier waterfowl outfitter, and by these fine sponsors.
Y'all and I are sitting here in front of Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart, and you know, just because you got a 25-foot duck in the parking lot and a bunch of war eagle boats and P-rows and layout blinds and stuff, it doesn't mean that you're a real duck hunting operation. You got to go in and check it out. I'm gonna go in there and see if they got any real gear, real duck hunting type stuff. Come on with me, check it out. That is the best looking decoy I've ever seen. How many would you sell?
Daily, we'll sell anywhere from 50 to 200 pair.
Like how many guns would you sell a couple days before duck season, maybe?
Right before duck season, probably somewhere around 50 guns a day.
50 guns a day you sell?
Yes, sir.
Lee Rich and Tone, there they are. More world championships than all other call makers combined. Guys are pretty serious about the dog stuff. My favorite, water dog. Dude was telling me you needed a new dog bed. You didn't have to jump in the box full of them. Golly. Look, y'all, they got dog boots. Sometimes that bean stubble and that rice stubble can get tough on you. Take one of those, 2 or 3 of those, get some Dove. You know, what I learned today was that if you get up to a store somewhere and they've got a 25-foot mallard in the parking lot, you're probably going to find a place that's pretty serious about duck hunting, like Max Prairie Wings.
All right, they're coming from near and far to watch this semifinal round, which is just about over. There is 1 slot left in the finals. You got to be among the top 5 teams to get it, and one more team with a shot of it. These folks right here. This is Cade Gentry and Jesse.
Boy, I'm excited about this dog. She's a master hunter, a grand hunting retriever champion, qualified all-age field trial dog, very talented, had great success in all of the venues. Outstanding marking dog. That's her forte. She is a unbelievable dog.
Not that are suitable for television. Appropriate. Did you hear about the one, the dog that talked?
Tommy, I couldn't concentrate, did you?
Well, I tell you what, the handlers are doing a great job of blocking that part out. Lots of distractions at the line. A tough, tough course.
You know, they're trying to portray a hunting scenario, and they're doing a great job. I got to give those gunners credit where credit is due.
50 points, a number you have to get under if you want a trip to the finals.
And she's a hard-running dog. I mean, look at her. This is a blind. I mean, she's just taking off. A lot of fun to watch. Very, very stylish. A dog that can get you in trouble at max. When the wind picks up in this running water, very difficult to hear a whistle. Come on, girl, get on that boat.
Got a right downwind of the blind retrieve there on top of the War Eagle boat. You can see it right there.
Oh, come on. Don't cave on me. Big over here. Get that over. Good job handling. Kept her right there on it. Never gave her a second. She had to know it was right there, the way he handled it.
Only 8 faults. This team is looking good. They can keep it together.
Well, hold on there. Got a double this time, Jess. Do a good job here, Kate. Stand up next to her and line her up.
Good girl. Sit. Sit. Here. Heel. 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 Good. Where's that mark? Jesse?
And cutest doggy. Ask her where that mark was. Nice work. Going for the second bird now. Oh, she overran it.
God, how'd you miss it? Holy smoke. Here, heel.
Setting for the long bird. They're playing her game now. Long marks are in her back pocket.
Jesse!
I expect her to pick this thing up clean as a whistle. Golly, I mean, just one hole out of after another. This is such a tough place to run.
Pete has the luxury of being able to handle a little bit. They've got a bumper of faults there.
She's drifting a little right here. Play it safe, get her on the bird. She started to drift about 20 yards before he got there. He just thought he'd play it safe, but he's not getting the cast he needs. Oh, it's tight.
Running out of time, running out of faults here.
Got to get her on the bird. Right there. Woo! Hair of his chinny chin chin, man.
Skin of their teeth. Kay Gentry and Jesse are going to make it into the finals if they can be clean on this last one.
Showed steady. Nice job.
They are in. Kay Gentry from Opelika, Alabama. The dog is Jesse. They complete our field of 5 dog and handler teams. We're going to duke it out in the finals here in Stuttgart. And, of course, the top 3 finishers in the finals going to the Crown Championship, the big bang-up finish to the season, coming up from Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas. J. Paul Jackson and Achilles leading the way. Stacy West and Abby. Chris Aiken and Boomer. Scott Greer and Eddie. And now Kay Gentry and Jesse added to the list of 5. We'll see them in the finals next time, along with our Big Air Dog competition. So long from Stuttgart and the Max Super Retriever Series.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPNOutdoors.com.